Hey, what's going on, guys? I've decided to switch it up a little bit. For my past couple of movie reviews, I've typed out a script of what I wanted to say. Then I read the script, and the visual I had was just the movie poster or whatever. This time I'm gonna appear on camera and say my thoughts about the movie. Now, Paranormal Activity came out in 2007, I believe. It was only shown at private screenings, if I remember correctly. I mean, I might be, and I probably am wrong. I didn't really do a lot of research about this movie, so bear with me. And if I am wrong, correct me, but not in an asshole way. Just, you know, mention it like not like a jerk way. This contains some spoilers, by the way. So if you don't want to get spoiled, click out. During the nights, the lights would turn on in the hallway. You would hear like loud footsteps going. Loud footsteps. It sounded like somebody was like right there. Sometimes you would see the blanket on the bed, like, you know, like coming up and stuff like that. The scariest part of the night times, I can remember like 2 occasions in which I like literally said out loud, "Holy shit!" One time was when Mika got up out of bed and like the door slammed. The bedroom door slammed, and he was like, "Holy shit!" And then like he opened the door, and Mika was the man. He was hilarious. I think it was during this night where he was like walking through the hallways, and he was like, "You want to fuck with us, huh? You want to fuck with us? You ghost, just you little spirit bastards," or something like that. I don't remember his exact line, but. And also, one of my favorite parts with Mika is, I think Katie told him not to buy a, what is the thing it's called, Ouija board or something. She told him not to buy a Ouija board, then he comes home like a day or 2 later with a Ouija board, and she was like, "I told you not to fucking buy a Ouija board," and he was like, "I didn't buy it, I borrowed it from a friend." I'm not sure if anybody else had this confusion, but I had this confusion. Before I researched it, before I saw it, I actually thought that this was like a real documentary, like not a movie. I thought that these 2 people were seriously experiencing paranormal activity in their household. The movie was thought up by the director who was like always afraid of ghosts, like he didn't want to see Ghostbusters or something. And the house that this movie was filmed in was actually filmed in the director's old house. He actually like refurbished the house, you know, like moved some furniture, repainted the walls, brought in new carpets. This is all to better suit the feel of the movie. And I'm predicting it right now. You know how sorry, I just realized it was zoomed in the entire time. You know how the Saw bathroom is like an iconic setting for horror? I think that the camera angle from inside the house, when it's like at the foot of the bed, and like you're like staring at them going to sleep and stuff like that. I think that is going to be an iconic horror setting in the future. I'm not saying when, because of fact I don't know when. I'm saying that setting is going to be an iconic horror setting, much like the Saw bathroom is now considered, at least to me, to be a horror setting. Oh, I forgot. The second time in which I was scared at night was well, not really scared, but when I said "holy shit," was, I think this was on the very last night, or either the night before the very last night, where the ghost or whatever, the demonic presence like actually took Katie out of bed and dragged her through the hallway, and then Mika was like, "Oh my God, Katie!" and then he he like ran through the hallway and like wrestled with the ghost or whatever. I mean, you know, you couldn't see this, but you know, it was obvious that he was like wrestling, you know, like fighting with the ghost, and then like he actually got Katie back. I was like, "Holy shit!" And to be honest with you, I don't know how the hell they did that. I mean, you know, keep in mind they're like, this is like an actual house. There's obviously no green screen or anything like that. So how the fuck did they do that? I mean, with the way Katie was like, you know, dragged and stuff like that, it's like you can't really do that like to yourself. You know. I mean, you could fake, you could fake being thrown around and stuff, but the way she moved, I don't know. It's like, I don't think that you can do that by yourself, you know, like dragging yourself like that. I don't think you can. But my verdict on the movie, I don't think it lived up to the expectations, you know. I was hearing from everybody saying, "Oh, this movie is so scary. This movie is the scariest movie ever made." I heard that Steven Spielberg couldn't sit through the movie in one sitting. He had to take breaks because it was like scary. I don't get that. I'm not trying to sound tough or anything like that, but I didn't think the movie was that scary at all. It was a good movie. It was a little creepy, not scary, if that makes any sense. Which probably doesn't. You're probably saying you're an asshole, and I agree. I am an asshole, but I still didn't find the movie to be scary. You know, luckily though, I have to give credit where it's due. This movie is another 2009 horror movie that did not rely on CSS, which is cheap scare syndrome. You know where like that, where a face just like pops up and like screams to scare the shit out of the viewer. That shit is getting so goddamn old, and I can't stand CSS. It's so cheap. That's why it's called cheap scare syndrome. So no, I gotta say that I do admire this movie because this movie did not rely on CSS. And as far as I can remember, there was no CSS at all, which is awesome. One thing I found really weird about this movie was the fact that I read that it has alternate endings. To the best of my knowledge, there's at least 3 alternate endings. There's one ending where the ending I saw was Katie kills Micah, I think it's Micah. She kills Micah, and the cops like kill her. That's one ending. The other ending was Micah is like thrown to the camera, which like knocks it on the floor, and like she's like eating him, and then she screams to the camera, which I guess could be considered CSS, but I didn't see that, so I can't comment. That's 2 endings. The third ending I have heard of. I didn't see it. I saw the 2 endings with the cops killing Katie, and with the with Katie with Katie yelling at the camera. The third one, I did not see this one, where Katie like stands in front of the camera and like slits her neck. I didn't see that one. And as far as I know, that ending was only shown once, which quite frankly I think that was a wise decision because slitting your neck on camera like that that wouldn't suit well with a lot of people. I mean, I wouldn't mind it because, you know, I'm used to gore and stuff like that. I don't mind it. But it was probably a good decision not to air that more than once. But I think it was very, very weird that a movie has more than one ending. That's just bizarre to me. I mean, imagine if the first Saw had like 5 endings. Like in one ending, you know, it is how it is, and like an alternate ending, like Lawrence does not cut off his foot. And like instead, like Jigsaw, I don't know, Jigsaw reveals himself, and like Adam and Lawrence beat the shit out of him or something. You know, it's like a movie alternate endings that's weird. That's just weird. Overall, I would say this movie was it wasn't scary to me. It wasn't scary. I had no problem sitting through one sitting watching the entire movie. I thought Micah and Katie were fantastic. I thought they played their roles to perfection, especially Micah. Micah was unintentionally hilarious throughout pretty much the entire movie. And actually, they auditioned separately. Micah auditioned for Micah without meeting Katie, and Katie auditioned for Katie without meeting Micah. And the director said something like, if you just saw these guys audition together, you would assume they have like known each other for 5 years, and I agree with that. They were fantastic, and they were fantastic at playing their roles. Micah was the man. He would just I just became a huge fan of Micah throughout the entire movie. He was just great. But overall, the movie was enjoyable, but it was very disappointing because, you know, I was expecting a movie that was frightening. I was expecting a movie that was so scary, and it didn't deliver. Creepy. A little bit creepy, but scary, not really. At least I didn't think it was that scary. And once again, I'm not trying to sound tough. You know, if I was scared by it, I would say I was scared by it. But by this movie, I wasn't really scared by it. It wasn't too scary. So, would I recommend you see it? Yeah, I recommend you see it. It was an interesting movie, and it was enjoyable. I enjoyed the movie. I just didn't think it was as scary as everybody was saying. What do I give it out of 10? I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Because it was a good movie. It was just, for being a horror movie, it wasn't that scary. You know, when I hear horror, I think scary. Paranormal Activity had a good plot. I think it had a good plot. The effects were good. The sound effects were good. They achieved a lot by just by just audio, rather, because, you never saw the paranormal, the ghosts or the demons. And that can be challenging because you want to create a scary environment, but you can't show the ghosts because ghosts they're not visible unless they're on camera or something. But overall, the movie was good. It was just not as scary. Don't let me shut up. So yeah, would I recommend you see it? I would recommend it. It was good. It was enjoyable, but it wasn't that scary.